2022, my haunted hotel took off.
During that time, we've caught some of the best paranormal evidence ever caught on camera.
We may have discovered some of the building's previous residents.
Your surname, Griffith?
This year, we are stepping it up.
We can't do this investigation alone. We need your help on this journey.
The UK's most haunted item has arrived.
This is my haunted hotel. So first day back today, my haunted hotel tonight. Some of the cameras aren't working, trying to get the live stream sorted. I've missed it, to be honest with you though.
It is opening day and we're really excited, but roommate is down to the wire at this point. Christmas has been chaos. I've been doing a pantomime, that's not helped. So here we are doing the final little touches to roommates because this room has to be perfect. Anyone that knows anything about this doll just knows that this doll almost weirdly deserves, is that the right way of saying that? Deserves this sort of display in a way.
My haunted hotel opening day 2023, about 11 o'clock in the morning, and we have got work to do. We are pushing things to the limit as usual because typical My Haunted Hotel, we are not organised. It's been crazy. I can't even remember the last time I was in here. I think it was with the dogs. That episode went down an absolute treat. But today really consists of getting things ready for tonight. We've got, I think, 5 rooms in tonight. Everyone's really buzzing to go again. Obviously roommate is opening, Brett's up there now doing his stuff. My job is to take readings today, make sure everything's normal, compare them to the readings that we took at the end of last year.
The place, it's really took off. It's so popular, I had someone asking me for a selfie the other day and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? But yeah, I mean, people are stopping in the street and wanting to talk to us about the whole situation, you know, explain, is it that bad? And I'm explaining, yes, it is that bad. And they just can't get a grasp of it, but when I tell them the story, they're like, oh my god, I need to get there. And a lot of my friends have been coming in, coming back and saying it's absolutely amazing, it's incredible, like, love it.
I've heard a couple of voices that I haven't caught on camera. I felt like I've been touched twice. Jamie, missus, has also had a sock thrown at her. This was in our flat, bear in mind, so. But in terms of the pub, even last night, Peter was outside and he texted me saying that you could hear someone in the building or big bangs. I tried to review the footage this morning, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't even hear anything, so yeah, it's felt weird and kind of vacant in a way. But with Christmas period, you kind of get, it's busy, you don't have time to have a second look or think about things really, so.
Last year was crazy. I can't even believe how much we've done and how much people just love My Haunted Hotel. It still baffles me that people were opening Christmas presents with My Haunted Hotel merch and saying, wow, this is the best thing we've ever had. And it's like amazing to think that that's our fan base and that's who also just comes to see us here. So cool. And we want to build on that this year.
Everyone is playing their part in this ongoing investigation. This is the world's most documented ongoing paranormal investigation, and we just need to continue down the path. Learn from the things that didn't work last year, but also learn from the things that did work and just kind of push on with that. Right, piss off, I'm busy.
The Grey Stall is opening up tonight, which I'm excited about. This is new for me as well, so I'm looking forward to hearing or seeing what she can do. And I said we've got loads of new stuff all around the building that you can come and see. It's going to be really I think this is the year for My Haunted Hotel this year.
My Haunted Hotel is about to reopen for 2023, and first to arrive is historian and genealogist Thomas, who holds in his possession the written will of Charles Griffith. We believe this man may have owned a brothel here at some point between 1690 and 1712. We have captured evidence to suggest that his entity still haunts this 400-year-old building. As investigators, we must always try to connect the puzzle, and Thomas has brought us some vital information.
Hello, my name's Thomas and I'm a genealogist. I specialise in a very niche area of history, the Pendle Witch trials of 1612 and the lesser known trials of 1634. So the Griffith family in Chester, as far as I can tell, they go back to the Tudor period, perhaps earlier. 1519, when John Griffith was elected mayor of the city, and from around 1520 until 1748 they occur in the lists of sheriffs and mayors. In 1720 Robert Aldersey was leasing properties to a Chester innholder called Charles Griffith, and the Alderseys were also executors to the wills of the Griffiths and witnesses as well, so they were obviously well acquainted. Charles Griffith appears to have been an innholder from at least 1699, again probably earlier. I know this from a petition that he submitted that year, and the Griffith family actually appear to have been all involved in the trade. Many of them were maltsters and vintners, and there are several other family members who were innholders around the city, although it's not quite clear which properties they held. Now, there is a slight caveat here in that Charles doesn't actually appear to be directly associated with the King's Head, because I know from his will in 1726 his inn was located on Foregate Street on the south side, and it was known as the Royal Oak Inn. But he also held other lands. One was on Forest Street, another was on Horn Lane, which is now Steam Mill Street, and he had other lands in Dudden and Burton, as well as lands he was leasing from the Aldersey family. So we can't really rule out at this stage the possibility that Charles was connected to the King's Head in some way, because it's clear he was very well connected with the local merchants and innholders. Interestingly, I have found where Charles Griffith is actually buried, and he was buried at St John the Baptist Church in 1726. Unfortunately, there's no headstone because the graveyard was cleared in 1912. But they did record the locations and the inscriptions on the headstones, but unfortunately Charles doesn't appear on the list. It's probably because either the headstone was too weathered and illegible, or it was removed sometime before 1912. But they did leave the bodies in the ground, so Charles Griffith is still buried at St John the Baptist Church, presumably. He was clearly very well connected with the local merchants through the innholders, cooks and victuallers company. He had lots of contacts. In his will he also mentions brewers and fellow innholders, so I think it's a reasonable assumption that he could be involved in this inn in some capacity. We'll just have to see where the evidence takes us.
We had now been able to confirm that Charles Griffith was highly connected with inns across the city between 1690 and 1712, and this is the exact time period that records from ye old King's Head cannot be found. The theory that Charles may have been running a brothel here during that time cannot be ruled out, but we must delve further into this. Reopening night was drawing ever closer, but what effect will the introduction of the Haunted Collection have on this building?
So we're about to invite the first guest for 2023 in. It's about 8 o'clock and they're going to be the first to see the Haunted Collection in the building.
So we're outside room 8. When I was given the most haunted item in the country to actually put on display, I had to go all out. Grace deserves nothing better than what is inside room 8. Let's have a look. With this item being so overly documented, I wanted to show that by putting loads of different newspaper clippings, loads of images of the doll. And what we're going to do is every time that she is put in a new article online or in a newspaper, we're going to keep adding to this big wonder web that is Grace. Not everyone will be able to come in here, and those that do will have to read a set of rules before they come in. We have taken this incredibly seriously.
Here in room 3, the mirror room, we have installed what's known as a black mirror. Now this was actually given to me by a practicing witch. She used to light candles in front of it. Now what used to happen is the reflection of her candle, the candle would actually blow out, but her candle in real life would stay lit. This is going to make for some very interesting sessions in this room, and many believe within the paranormal that black mirrors can act as portals to bring through dark energy from the other side.
Part of the Haunted Collection is in room 2, and we have a satanic goat skull that was used in a satanic ritual in Scotland.
Harry, did you just read the sheet on the side of the wall?
No.
We all saw him. You'll see that in the shot.
You forgot your lines, the first one of 2023.
I haven't done it for a while now, have I? So.
But guys, we are here in room 6, where the last time we had anybody here at the hotel was when the Bune box was chewed up by Diesel the dog. It stays here in the corner, and the Bible page that came out of it that none of us knew about is actually pinned to the wall here in room 6. We also have the cursed chest in here, which is an item that still to this day fills me with utter dread, because when I picked up this item from one of my contacts, I almost died in a car accident that day. It absolutely scares the life out of me, this thing. It's an old seaman's chest. It has peculiar markings at the front, but this is the extent of the Haunted Collection that we're dealing with.
It's been 3 weeks since she's actually fell or done anything now, so again, that's a bit weird. We also got the Boko doll. She's behind the curtains here. Say hi. Hello. And we're introducing a lot more dolls, clowns, and hopefully a ventriloquist doll shortly.
One thing we've had set up here, and we're going to have it kept here pretty much the whole time, is a laser tripwire. If anything passes here, we will know. However, we have realised and tested this, that if you walk past it wearing just a black hoodie, if you're maybe 10 inches away or so, it won't pick you up. So if something passes this and it definitely isn't a person, we have no idea what this is picking up.
I hold in my hand here the will from Charles Griffith. This is incredible, and it was brought to us by Thomas earlier today, who has been helping us with the history and also that mysterious period of Ye Olde King's Head between 1690 and 1712. To actually hold these documents here is just an incredible moment, because Charles Griffith certainly provided some very substantial evidence last year, and we are hoping that if it is indeed his spirit that still haunts this incredible building, that we can pick up where we left off.
Our preparations were complete, and we were ready for our first investigation of 2023. 5 rooms were checking in, and returning to my haunted hotel with some familiar faces from season 1.
I've been here quite a lot. It's my second home. I'm really excited to see what happens with the Haunted Collection here, so sort of building on stuff that I've seen with Grace in the past and Tatton, but also really the history of the place, and it's just that determination to sort of crack the secrets of here. Yeah, I don't like leaving things undone, so that is the goal this year.
It feels different, doesn't it? This doesn't feel like we've just let a bunch of guests into my haunted hotel. It just feels like something else is going on.
Feels like we've just started a very new and very weird new chapter here in this building, and I guess that's what it should feel like. But yeah, here we are, 2023, ready to roll. New artifacts, some of the most haunted artifacts from across the UK. Room 8's open, and we've got a jam-packed night, 5 rooms in, and we have Charles Griffith's will lying in the function room, which is really cool.
I don't normally get affected by anything like that, but it made it feel a bit more real. Does that make sense? When you actually see his handwriting and you think potentially if Charles is genuinely a thing, we've got his handwriting in the function room. That's just
And
mad.
we know where he's buried as well.
We do.
Absolutely. St John the Baptist Church down the road. We're actually going to go and film a scene there within the next week or so. I think it would be nice to actually get that. But guys, I mean, speaking on behalf of you, Harry, really, this is an incredible moment because it is the start of Series 2, and it just goes to show right now how epic this whole thing has become. Look how busy we are. We've got people in the pub today commenting on social media saying, oh, met Willow today, the Romanian gypsy doll. It's just epic, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm so happy to the fact that this was a dream at one time and it's all coming to life. And I think this year is going to be absolutely epic, to be honest with you. It's going to go to new heights, my haunted hotel, I'm sure of it.
My theory is like when there's a wave of like activity happening, it's like it's coming from room 4 but through here. Whether or not this had a walkway through it, and you'd have I'm not sure, but you used to get a lot from ladies in there. And Brett mentioned last he's heard something, the shower handle, he's heard it rattle on its own before. You want the door open? You can open the door.
Why don't we have it like a jar?
Yeah.
What we got, we can.
Your bag.
Black mirror. Black mirror is a fluid items used in paranormal. They believe to act as gateways to the other side. And this particular black mirror has been part of an ongoing investigation for some time. Previous owner used to light candles in front of it, and on occasion the candle in the reflection is blown out, and but only in the reflection. It's cool.
Already looking at the cameras, we can see new things. We can see the black mirror in room 3 with Claire and Joe. Be interesting to see what manifests with that. We have obviously the Capra skull, a satanic skull of a goat used in a ritual in Scotland.
Scotland it was, yeah.
You have no idea. Like just repeated the last 2 words of what you say as if he knew what you saw. Oh, Scotland, yeah.
It is reopening night at my haunted hotel, and 2 hours into the investigation, all seems quiet as we attempt to pick up where we left off in 2022. In room 8, there is an eerie silence as the UK's most haunted item, the Grace doll, is now being actively monitored. We join Claire, Joe, Gavin and Sophie in room 6. David and Sally move to room 5, while Sue, Claire, Rachel, Karen, Lindsay and Jane all move into room 2.
Spirit, if you're here, can you copy this on this wall? I'm Sophie, this is Gavin. We're from Afterlife and Spooky Events, and we host the Friday nights here. 2023 is going to be a massive year for us, and for the hotel also. Really excited to see what's going to happen, especially with the Grace still here. I'm a bit nervous, and with past experience I just think the activity is just going to get more and more.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Charles, are you here?
Good ghost, Archie.
If you're here, Charles, can you make yourself known?
Can you come towards my voice and stand outside this doorway? Come forward.
My thighs are freezing. The rest of me's warm. My thighs.
What was that
What was
growl?
that growl then?
I heard that.
Was that a growl over there?
Yeah,
That was the Are you sure it was a
I
growl,
heard a
not a
growl.
car though?
The ladies in room 2 believe they have just heard a growl, but upon analysing this audio, we are able to debunk this as a bottle bin down the street.
My thighs are free. The rest of me's warm. My thighs.
What was that growl then?
My thighs are free. The rest of me's warm. My thighs.
What was that growl then?
Well, it's a new year, but it is certainly not a new Brett Jones.
That's so good though.
It is good. My New Year's resolution is to break your diets.
Yeah, don't bring any chocolate, guys.
Yeah, please don't. We're not actually joking when we say that. Stop it. We are now halfway through the investigation, and we have been unable to document any paranormal activity. As we move Sally, David, Gavin, Sophie, Claire and Joe into the downstairs bar to work with some of the haunted collection, a huge moment is about to happen here at My Haunted Hotel. Alright guys, here we go. Big moment here at My Haunted Hotel. Lindsay and Jane are about to enter room 8.
I'm excited.
We have implemented a set of rules which must be followed strictly in room 8. We are also allowing only experienced investigators into the room. Lindsay and Jane are about to call out their audio disclaimer, granting them permission to enter this daunting area.
I, Jane Jones, agree to the following rules outlined outside of room 8. I, Lindsay Durkin, agree as well.
As Lindsay and Jane enter the room, something absolutely astonishing happens as the whole building seems to come alive with activity. Remember that the Grey Doll is not the only haunted artefact in the building. Downstairs, the item known as Bob is also on display.
Will you talk to me, Jeanette? Do you know who brought you here? Do you know why you've been brought here?
K2 is going off, Jane.
Okay.
Do you know why you've been brought here? Do you know who brought you here? You ask again, Jane.
Do you know who brought you here?
Yeah, K2 just went.
What is the name of the person who brought you here? Can you say his name? You know who it is.
Don't say his name.
I'm not going to.
Are you happy that you're here, Jeanette? Or would you like to be back in that cold house?
What's that tapping then?
Where? Or would you like to be back in that cold house?
What's that tapping then?
Or would you like to be back in that cold house?
What's that tapping then?
Make that light flash if you want to get out the box.
What's it
That's
on?
freaky. I've just said, is that you? I'm gonna make the light flash if you want to get out the box.
So we just said to Bob,
This K2's just gonna
flash the light if you'd like to get out of the box, and then the light started flashing.
Listen.
What is it?
Don't know. There is some kind of clicky noise happening.
Literally there?
Yeah, outside the control room here.
I see. We've never heard that before.
Jeanette, when you were at Tatton, you could knock on the box. Can you do that again?
We have just clearly captured the sound of a knock on the glass box that contains the Grey Doll in direct response to Jane, but neither Lindsay or Jane react to this, almost as if they didn't hear it. This would prove a vital moment in this week's investigations.
Jeanette, when you were at Tatton, you could knock on the box. Can you do that again? Jeanette, when you were at Tatton, you told us that you were one of 4. Is that still the same? Are they still with you?
Yeah.
Can you tell me their names?
Do you know their names? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so go on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say them.
No, I don't want to say the names just yet.
Intelligent waves of EMF clearly captured in room 8 and confirming everything we know about the Greystall so far. Lindsay and Jane do not wish to pursue any further, and they are rightly cautious. During the Greystall's time at Tatton Old Hall, its previous home, the names Orobas and Mammon were spoken, as well as a fourth unnamed attachment to the item.
Let me in.
These are the names of demonic manifestations. We approach 1 AM, and both Sue and Karen, long-term followers of the Greystall story, are about to enter room 8. Meanwhile, Joe conducts a lone vigil.
We're all pretty tired considering it's the first night, aren't we? My head's banging.
We have been here all day.
I've been
here
crap
since
today, haven't I?
11:30.
What do you mean today?
If there's anybody in here, could you knock on the cupboard? I have this box in my hand, could you speak to me through this?
Do you have knowledge of what is going on in this building and who is here? Do you like to have the knowledge?
Okay, so when we went into the room, we took in a K2 reader that is ours, it's nobody else's, and we put it in view. Jane was unable to see it. With the K2, it needs an electrical force to make it go, but there is nothing in the room to create that sort of response. The responses that we were getting were with the questions that we were asking, the responses were coming straight back. Jane was, like she said, unaware of what was being able to see, the K2, and I could see it. So it was...
Our mobile phones weren't even in the room with us.
No.
And there was no other electrical devices in there that could have set it all off.
Can you tell me your name?
Changes move on its own and make a noise.
What?
What is that? That's clinking on the glass box.
Is that you tapping, Jeanette?
That's what it sounded like, tapping glass, didn't it?
Okay, Sue has just said that she's heard the chain hitting the Greystall box, or like a tinking sound, something like that.
Changes move on its own and make a noise.
What?
What is that?
Unexplained noises on the box that contains the Greystall, captured for a second time. As 2 AM approaches, we join in the famous brothel area.
We have all joined in the brothel section now. Again, similar to last year, this section was always the one that would produce, and we're hoping to carry that forward into this year. We have some EMF detectors lined up, and we're also going to conduct an Intravox session, which proved to be so substantial in 2022. I'm also armed with a full spectrum camera and will be taking as many pictures as possible, and already we are getting some kind of hit on the K2 meter on this far end of the table. I confirm everybody's phones are on flight mode right now. That is the only one being affected. Let's see if anything happens. I would like to address Charles Griffith. Sir, in the next room I have a copy of your will. I understand a lot more about you now. I understand that you were involved as part of the innkeepers within the city of Chester. You had dealings with people who were associated with this building.
Ooh. That was like 3 of them.
I would like to ask, Charles, there is a part of this building's history that is not understood. Did you open a brothel here, in this building, here, in this room? Did you control women? Did you create something here which gave you great wealth, Charles? I need to understand, please.
Immediately, waves of EMF fill the old brothel section, but then something else happens and we all hear it.
Whoa!
What was that?
What was that?
What was that? I just heard something.
Did you hear that there?
Yeah, something just went.
Whoa!
What was that?
Whoa!
What was that?
Nothing else was captured, and the guests witnessed nothing in their rooms overnight. The full spectrum camera captured nothing in the old brothel, and nothing manifested through the Intravox device. Reopening day was complete, but we had a packed out week ahead.
I don't know what to make of it tonight. It's been weird, it's been different. It felt different. It's obviously really hard to manage a lot of, it sounds not a lot, but 10-12 guests, trying to keep tabs on them all is really difficult. A couple of interesting things with the Grace doll, more interesting downstairs in the pub, which is normally pretty quiet really, so quite happy with that. And then we got some really cool responses in the brothel just then.
First night of season 2, and I think it's been pretty quiet from what we've known before, but we are finding our feet. We have a completely new hotel, nearly is what it felt like tonight. We still have people in room 8 now, hence why I'm sat here monitoring it just to be sure everyone's okay. Nothing like super exciting's happened, but it's been a good start, I'd say.
Well, this is the end of a 15-hour day today, the reopening of My Haunted Hotel for 2023. And in all honesty, it's been a quiet investigation, but there have been moments that have been interesting, especially towards the end in the brothel section. We heard a very strange noise. We're yet to discover whether we've caught that on camera. We did get some intelligent EMF spikes in room 8 with the Grace doll. Tomorrow is busy again. We have guests in all week, to be honest with you. So again, it's just about sort of building and getting this opening stage done, and then we can see what happens. On to tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Peter and I work downstairs in My Haunted Hotel. Since I've started working here, I've noticed, and since the show started, I've noticed a lot of people coming in just to experience the atmosphere, because there is an atmosphere here in the My Haunted Hotel. Even downstairs in the bar, you just feel it. As soon as you walk into the door, it just hits you. I've seen the shadow figure, I've heard people walking up the stairs and there's no one in. I've heard doors close when there's no one in the bar and it's just me downstairs. 2023 is going to be a big year for My Haunted Hotel, and I can't wait to see you all here, guys.
It is Tuesday night at My Haunted Hotel, and we've got a full house again.
Yeah, 5 rooms again. This is a busy week. Like, it's as if, you know when you open a new ride at a theme park and everyone goes on open day? That's how it feels. It's like...
That is a really good description.
Another 5 rooms are checking in at My Haunted Hotel, and just before we brief them on the investigation ahead, something insane happens outside of room 8, which Harry and I spot immediately.
Pass me that radio.
You need to see this. You need to see this right now.
Huh?
The candle outside of
goes out completely. We've just played it back, haven't we? And it's you know how last night it flickered once and we thought that's strange?
Yeah.
This is a full-on extinguish. Watch this. Rooms 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6 will all be occupied, and just like Monday night, familiar faces from season 1 have returned.
Yeah, so we stayed here now, it's our 5th time occasion. Obviously things have changed now with the grey stole in place. It's making me feel a bit on edge. Hopefully we catch some things tonight.
I want voice phenomena. Something like voices to come out. I want to hear more rather than creaks. I want something new now. It's getting more and more exciting every time you come in.
New chapter.
Back to see what the grey stole's going to bring to this place and find out what's going to happen with the rest of the 13 spirits that resides here.
Oh, a Ouija board.
Oh, I do not want anything to do with that.
Oh, what?
Oh, they've left the f***ing Bible book in here. Look, the blue box is still here.
What? I don't want to know what that is.
I don't know. It's just a page in the Bible.
But why are you going, oh my god, they've left it here?
Because it was in the boom box.
So it'll be interesting now to see if anything happens in that corner there.
You just not think.
Tuesday night's guests settle in, and similar to the previous night, the building is silent. For 2.5 hours, nothing at all happens, and then suddenly, as Leah and Nikki head back to room 6, we are able to capture this.
I've got my torch, just in case.
I've got my torch, haven't
I ain't got my mints.
What the f*** was that?
I don't know, but it was a massive, I felt that through the floor.
Guys, we just had a really big bang and felt it through the floor. Is anything going on?
Leah and Nikki hear a huge, unexplained bang in room 6, but as they leave, something else happens, and this is extraordinary, as we are able to capture a clear sound coming from the cursed chest, which is part of the haunted collection that has recently been moved into the building. Leah, Nikki, Nicola, Laura and Louise all move to room 2, and whatever seemed to manifest in room 6 with Leah and Nikki seems to follow them. Meanwhile, Paul, Donna, Shane and Matthew join Harry in the downstairs bar with Willow.
Willow, we heard that you can talk. Is it possible you could do that for us now? If not, we have a microphone next to you. We might be able to hear you on that.
Are you still here with us? If you are, come closer to the device so we know it lights up when you're here.
Willow, are you able to make any of the devices light up around you?
Are you happy here?
There's hundreds of people that come to see you every day now. Is that a good thing?
And don't let go until you say goodbye. That's it, stop. What the thank you? You trapped me. Someone needs to rain down Someone needs to rain down the rangers. I need the rangers. Oh my god.
I'm so happy I have laughing juice.
Thank you. I just had a really big bang on the wall. No, it's that.
It sounded like it's coming from that box.
Hello, was that you? If that was you, can you make that noise again?
So much is going on in this room right now.
2 tapping sounds in room 2, and the second happens on response. Had something followed Leah and Nikki into this room, or were these sounds coming from the box that contains the Capra skull?
If that was you, can you make that noise again? Wow!
That was on the candy store box, was it?
I thought that was there.
Anything else?
We move on, and Paul and Donna are about to enter room 8 after the strange occurrences in there on Monday night, where tapping was heard on the box that holds the Grace doll. We await to see what unfolds.
So we have opened room 8 again for the second time. To start off with, we have put Paul and Donna in there. They seem quite apprehensive going in to start with, but we will see. We have the Envoy.
Yeah, the Envoy device is running on top of the Grace doll box. What this is doing is scanning through letters of the alphabet, and if it picks up on a magnetic change, a knock or a bang, or a severe temperature change, it will select the letter it lands on. We've explained this device many times. It would be impossible almost to actually bring through a word.
This is absolutely, I can't believe it.
Hello there, Jeanette.
This is insane. Oh.
What is that beeping? It's got to be that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the word thing, isn't it? Where it spits out letters.
Just say
ADMX.
ADMX.
We want you to pay close attention to Paul as he is struggling to look at the Grace doll. A very bizarre pattern is about to emerge over the rest of the week, and you will find out what.
Because it's dark, you can't see him. It's better when it's lit up like that.
I don't particularly want to see you either.
You're really rich today, aren't you?
Because we know
You were talking to us
we
last
know
time.
what this thing can do.
Jeanette, what do you think of Paul?
We physically heard her.
Oh no, that's what I want. I like the spirit box thing. Jeanette.
The f. The f.
Looks like she wants to stay in the box. Jeanette.
The f was that?
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
That was definitely a growl.
Yet again, unexplained noises were manifesting in room 8, but what Paul and Donna had just heard was truly sinister. Listen again as a deep growl is captured.
Looks like she wants to stay in the box. Jeanette.
The f was that?
Things were heating up in reopening week, and as Tuesday's investigation ends, our work continues.
I've noticed in the past 3 or 4 days that the building's definitely changed. The haunted items are definitely having an effect, especially downstairs at the moment, even though room 8 is starting to change as well. Guests are coming in and staring at Willow, expecting her to do something all the time, but the strange noises starting to happen, and I even questioning when I go down there whether I'm hearing voices that maybe are in my head, but when I play them back I can't actually hear anything, but it seems really weird at the moment.
This week actually started off pretty quiet. However, last night we had a fair few things that I would say is pretty significant. At one moment we had some tapping on the glass box downstairs that we believe is holding the clown. It is just off camera, but it's something completely new to this building and we have not seen it before.
Willow? Willow?
I heard that.
That was a car.
No, it wasn't.
No, I think I heard that on the radio.
That wasn't a car. That was coming from this clown.
What? Can you check behind the door as well in the corner?
This corner door below the camera?
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, there's nothing in here, dude.
I'm going to check that back on the cameras, guys.
Willow? Willow?
I heard that.
So in next week's episode we're going to show you a bit of the history of the haunted artifacts that we have on display downstairs. I'm excited to see what unfolds over the next few weeks.
2 rooms are checking in for our final investigation of what has been a fascinating start to the new year. The levels of activity had started to rise and an eerie feeling had started to fill the building.
Welcome guys, it's Thursday night at my haunted hotel. We have 2 rooms in tonight. We put them in rooms 2 and 5. Good mix of people.
These are good guests, you can tell. They're very enthusiastic. The 2 girls that have come from Sheffield are very, very nervous, and these 2 guys, fellow Scousers, sounds like. And yeah, I just think this is going to be a big one tonight. Obviously, last night you 2 were here. You had an interesting one. I've heard the tapping on possibly the box that contains the clown in the bar. It's awesome. Yeah, this is opening week, and it is getting more and more interesting as the nights go on.
Oh, there's a clown as well. They're the worst.
Yeah. Knew we'd get this room.
I don't want to go in. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, it's got a Ouija board in it as well. And a mirror. Oh, no, it's going to slide. And a doll! Oh, my days and Christmases. It's not even Christmas anymore.
Is it a case for child?
No, I don't think so.
We have left the will that we've had a copy of, Charles Griffith's will. We've left it in room 5. Yesterday we had some pretty significant bits come up in reaction to reading this will, so we've left it in one of the rooms to see whether or not we can get anything from that.
We were quite surprised, weren't we? The guy could read it all, and we pretty struggled with it all.
It's so hard to read.
It's quite hard to read. It's all like old. Can make out Charles Griffith of the city of...
We are just half an hour into the investigation, and the guests have swapped rooms. All of a sudden, Stephen and Rosie begin to hear noises outside of room 2, and so we quickly join both groups together in the room.
There is a feeling inside this building tonight which
again, make it louder.
I have not experienced before. It feels very, very scary in here, is the only word to describe it. These guys in 2 are coming through to us now, and they are hearing movement on the corridor, knocking, banging. This is unlike anything we've heard before.
Is that you out there? Do it to the door. We just got a really loud bang again where it's been going off constantly.
Can you do that again, but louder, please?
The door's squeaking. Somebody outside.
Are you stood outside the door? Are you there?
We feel like someone's outside the door again. You're outside the room, aren't you?
Can you do that louder? Come on. We know you're there. Come and say hello.
It's like they're moving around. Yeah, but is it?
I felt like, I don't know if you used it before that door went this time. I felt like I heard a slight shuffle of feet.
Yeah, shuffling. That's the sound I was trying to think of. Shuffling.
You heard that?
Yeah, I promise you, I heard it.
Slightly to the right outside.
Yeah.
There's no windows open anywhere.
They said that.
No, we stayed in the other room when we went out, and like he just said that them drafty like cloths
them cloths
they're not moving.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. Can you do it again, but louder? Oh my god, it did. Thank you. It responded.
All 4 guests believed they were hearing somebody on the corridor outside of room 2, and our cameras prove that there is nobody there. We can rule out these noises being caused by wind. As you can see, the white sheets in the corridor do not move, and there are no windows open. Just like last year, the top floor corridor continues to produce unexplained sounds, just like the many disembodied footsteps captured throughout season 1. Now, do you remember we asked you to pay attention to Paul from Tuesday night and his behaviour in room 8? Paul struggled to even look at the Grace doll, and over the next 2 hours here at the hotel, we are able to document the effect that this item is already having on people. Take a look at these next 2 sessions.
Yeah, so we sent Jade and Nicole up to room 8 to meet Grace, and they can't even enter the room, and they're proper like hyperventilating and everything, aren't they?
They're on their 3rd attempt going into the room now.
The issue is if they show fear when they go in there, this item feeds off that.
They need to go in there. They do.
Girls, we need you to try and enter the room, please. We appreciate that you are quite scared right now, but if you can try and enter, give yourself a couple of minutes in there. If you can't do it, we completely understand. Just go in there, try to remain rational, do not show fear in there.
Jade and Nicole last just over a minute in room 8, and both Stephen and Rosie enter, and just like Tuesday night with Paul, as well as Jade and Nicole, Stephen is struggling to gain any eye contact with the item.
It's the story in it. The story behind it.
He's kind of looking at the corner of his eye, innit?
Yeah, no one will look at it.
Yeah, no one will look this item in the eye. It's incredible what the effect that it's having already.
Yeah. Not my bag, this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, but I wouldn't want to like try anything.
No. It was more to see if we'd hear anything, and then I would leave immediately.
I just wanted to see it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unexplained knocking directly in the centre of room 8, and this is enough for Stephen. We have had cameras on the Grace doll for just 1 week, and already we are seeing signs of its presence. The knocking phenomena has been heard coming from this item for many years, and it is continuing here at its new home.
So I feel quite upbeat tonight. I don't feel too tired. I think the main reason for that is lovely guests. Enjoyed working with them tonight, and again, room 8 kind of done it for me tonight. The way people are so apprehensive about going in, it's added a whole new dimension to the place now. So really looking forward to next week.
Opening week done, it's been absolutely fantastic, but we now push on from here to try and build on what we've learned this week. Next week, you will all get to find out about the other items here at the hotel. It has all been about the Grace doll, but we have to look at everything else that's here. Season 2 is ready to go. Let's do this.
So that is the end of the first week of season 2. It was a quiet start, but I think tonight has shown that this building can still deliver. And what I love about it is all the new stuff here is bringing a new level of investigation. Down here in the pub, all of a sudden has got a little bit more exciting. And upstairs in room 8, well, welcome to season 2 of My Haunted Hotel.